Grand Rapids Griffins clinch the first seed in the Western Conference, and Trey Augustine joins the Grand Rapids Griffins. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I am your other host, Kyle. We are a show by fans for fans. We are not officially partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings, so we are season ticket members. We watch a lot of Grand Rapids Griffins hockey. We are blessed with a great team this season, and this team has now clinched first seed in the Western Conference. So congratulations to the Grand Rapids Griffins of 25-26.
Yeah, a historic season to say the least. Now we are in battle with the Province Bruins. We are currently 1 point behind them, and there's not many games remaining. So we want that President Trophy. We want to be the best team in the AHL now.
Yeah, because with that comes those playoff implications, the home field advantage, everything, the better scheduling that you would hope for, especially this year now that there's such an advance that the Griffins are good. There's a lot of prospects, and that it'll bring a lot of revenue to the city. So hopefully they can plan for that, and just all good things moving forward for the Griffins here. We have some pipeline movement that we'll dive into first as we get into the Grand Rapids Griffins news. First things first, we have Axel Sandin-Pellikka called up under emergency conditions to the Detroit Red Wings with the injury of Justin Folk.
Yeah, disappointing for the Red Wings, but good for Axel Sandin-Pellikka. Axel Sandin-Pellikka came down here. He got 2 goals, 1 assist in 4 games, so 3 points. Looking real good. He had +1 here in Grand Rapids. He had -21 in Detroit, so working on his defense a little. He still did do some little things where he'd lose the puck or he'd make some bad passes, but that's something he can definitely work through because his offense is great. Comes down here, scores those goals, looks like a stud. So hopefully he can take that, what he learned so far, and go up to Detroit, because I'm guessing he'll be back down here as soon as Detroit isn't in the playoffs or is eliminated, or who knows with Detroit.
Yeah, and looks like they could use the scoring threat right now. Honestly, they need some help in the scoring department, so maybe it's a good thing Axel Sandin-Pellikka goes up for their playoff push. And then in Grand Rapids, we are going to receive Carson Bantle and Alex Doucette back from the Toledo Walleye. Kind of knew their stints were going to be short down there. They're great players down there in Toledo, but we do need them up here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, going down there for 3 games, Carson Bantle racked up a goal and an assist. So 2 points down there for him. And then Alex Doucette coming back up, also playing there for 3 games, got himself 4 assists down there. So 4 points in 3 games. So that's a point per game. That's what you want to see from Alex Doucette down there in Toledo.
Yeah, so good to have them back. And we're going to need them when it comes to this playoff push for Grand Rapids. They're very key aspects to this team and this run we've had this season. So we can get into some of the new players we're going to see around Grand Rapids here. We'll start with Noah Dower-Nilsson coming from the SHL.
Yeah, he's been known to be a good scorer, and I don't know too much about him. I'm not an expert on some prospects out there, but I wasn't expecting to see him signed right away. But he's the younger of the 2 Dower-Nilsson brothers. Liam, his older brother, I think his time may have ran out. I don't think we'll be seeing him in the Red Wings organization, but Noah Dower signs, so real cool to see one of the brothers make it. I don't know if he's going to be sent to the Griffins right away or maybe Toledo. We will see.
Yeah, exciting to have him over here. There was a lot of high touting when we drafted this kid, so hopefully we can see him in Grand Rapids and get a couple games out of him at least here before the end of the season, maybe. But we'll talk about the big one here. I think everyone wants to talk about Trey Augustine as he moves into the Grand Rapids system. Obviously, with Sebastian Kosa performing and Michael Postava performing as he has, it's going to be tough to kind of slide in another goaltender right now.
Yeah, he is the best goaltender in the NCAA. He was phenomenal seasons there playing for Michigan State. He's like a Michigan State legend at this point. We couldn't be more happy to take him in here at Grand Rapids, but we'll just see where he fits in. Like Kyle was saying, it's not sure if he will get sent down to Toledo. When Kosa came, he went down and played Toledo and had a deep playoff run with them. You might see him head there for this playoffs, or you might see him just be that good that he sticks around GR and gets a couple games in before the end of the season and just stays up in the locker room and maybe gets a shot if needed as a fringe goaltender. But as far as taking a spot from Postava or Kosa, I think that's very unlikely to happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see a game out of him before the end of the season here at least so we know what we're getting. But, man, the goaltender depth that we've had is unreal this season already. Now with the addition of Trey Augustine, a top-tier goalie prospect, probably best in the nation, one would say. And incredible goaltender depth built at a very young age here in the AHL system, ready to help out for the NHL future. So that is who has been signed. Kind of talk about the injury report. Nate Danielson still hasn't touched the ice since going down earlier, at least game time ice. Kind of wondered what's going on. Sounds like a re-aggravated injury and just kind of in the blue on him.
Bob Kaiser on the broadcast kind of briefly mentioned he was trying to skate and it kind of just was bothering him too much. So they're hoping at getting him back before the end of the season, hopefully. He didn't say if that was the playoffs or if that was the regular season, but I'm hoping that means the regular season.
I know a lot of Detroit fans are wondering what's going on with Nate Danielson right now because they think that he could be a helpful aspect to the playoff push right now. Don't know if that would necessarily he would be the most helpful asset to them right now over like Dominic Shine, who's helping out a lot. But we sure will need him come playoff time here in Grand Rapids. And it's going to be exciting to have all these prospects together under the same roof.
Yeah, you could possibly have the addition of Carter Bear even essentially still. And then if you get Nate Dogg to come back and have Nate Danielson and Carter Bear, ASP, Michael Brandsegg-Nygard, that's Sebastian Kosa, Trey Augustine. That's a lot of really highly touted picks up here.
Yeah, for sure. And getting them all in the same room under a good coach and Dan Watson, that'll be fun to watch.
The only key thing we need back is Dominic Shine. We would like Dominic Shine for our playoffs because he's the glue. He's the captain of that team. And you can't really – I don't think we can make it as deep without Dominic Shine.
Yeah, I agree. So that should wrap us up for the injury report. I believe Nate Danielson's the only one on there currently. And then we'll get into our recent games, which we have 3 recent games played since the month of April has started. So for this Rockford Ice Hog games, we have a 5-0 win for the Grand Rapids Griffins. Michael Postava records his 3rd shutout of the year, tying the rookie record for goaltenders for the Grand Rapids Griffins. So incredible stuff there for Michael Postava. And we had 2-goal performance by Trollmax.
Yep, and then him and Wojciech Stokoziak both got 3 points in that game. It was the debut of Anton Johansson for the season.
Yeah, I think Gustafson also ended up with 2 assists in this one. Good performance by the Grand Rapids Griffins to start off the month of April with a solid win over the Rockford Ice Hogs.
And also, can't forget Michael Brandsegg-Nygard getting a goal in there too.
Yeah. Then we'll move to April 3rd. It was a Friday game.
3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m. We had Griffins playing the Manitoba Moose up in Manitoba. So final score was 6-3 in this one. Grand Rapids really took it to the Moose. Seems like the Griffins are back here for the month of April, everybody. So watch out.
Yeah, this is actually a preview of possibly one of the teams we would be facing in the first round. It's looking like the Admirals or the Moose, and the Moose will possibly be playing in that playing round, and the winner will play the Griffins. So we've struggled against the Admirals, and looks like we're not having a problem with the Moose. So I'm hoping the Moose can take care of business against the Admirals if that ends up being the matchup.
Yeah, and Logitech Stakoviak again putting on a show here, getting another 3-point night. Yeah, his second 3-point night in a row. So impressive stuff for Logitech Stakoviak. Then we can move to the Saturday game.
Another 3 p.m. game.
Another 3 p.m. game where the Griffins just were ready to go in this and got one more goal in the last game and allowed one less. So 7-2 final score, 13 points total over the weekend for the Grand Rapids Griffins. Impressive stuff. I know John Leonard and Amadeus Lombardi both lit it up in this one. Good performances by them.
Yep, and then Logitech Stakoviak gets his third straight multi-point game.
Yeah, just ruthless this guy has been so far. He's been playing hard. He's an aggressive skater, so fun to watch.
And then Michael Brandsegg-Nygard got his second straight game winner. It's also really notable, and a consecutive 2-point night. We had Michael Bastava. He had 31 saves, and he's now 15-6-0.
Good stuff.
15-6-0 is his record, leading the AHL. And goals against average and save percentage.
That was the last 3 games for the Grand Rapids Griffins. Really good stuff. I mean, there's a lot action-packed, a lot of goals here in the last 3 games, 18 to be exact, and only 5 allowed. So kind of back onto that elite scoring pace that the Griffins were on early in the season to start April.
Very impressive performance. It's looking like the team that kind of we had to start the year. We like I was saying earlier in the show a couple weeks ago, I was saying it's right now is the time to struggle. Right now you got to get your mind out of we're the best team ever. We did. We had that struggle. We struggled severely there for moments there when Detroit had such problems. But look at how fighting through adversity can help you. Now when it comes to the playoffs, it'll be easier to get out of that slump, and we can turn the tide and just keep on fighting, man. I think we can do this. I think we can get really deep with this team. And
with the addition of some of these top-tier prospects that we've been waiting on for so long, it's been looking good. We'll dive over to the standings and stats section, covering the standings first, where the Grand Rapids Griffins have a current record of 49-13-4-1 for 103 points, in first place in the Central Division and in first place in the Western Conference. In second place, we have the Chicago Wolves for 76 points. In third place, we have the Texas Stars for 74 points. In fourth place, we have the Manitoba Moose for 68 points. In fifth place, we have the Milwaukee Admirals with 65 points. That is the playoff cutoff line. In sixth place, we have Rockford Ice Hogs with 59 points. And in seventh place, now eliminated from the playoffs, the Iowa Wild with 55 points.
Yeah, so Rockford clinging on for dear life. It's still possible. All it takes is a big loss streak for Milwaukee, and Rockford can squeeze in there. And that would be desirable for us Griffins fans, I believe.
Yeah, honestly, either one of those teams are just almost a little dangerous to play right now with the physicality of those matchups. So if we have to play them in the playoffs, not as concerned. pre-playoff matchup could possibly take us out a man or two the way those matchups have gone. So yeah,
Very
a little bit more concerning.
hatred-filled.
Yeah, a little more concerning in those games for sure. So that's your standings and stats starting in April.
I do want to mention the Chicago Wolves and Texas Stars have clinched playoffs.
Yep.
So, and it's looking like if we were to go into the playoffs today, you'd have the Grand Rapids Griffins with the bye week. You'd have Chicago Wolves and Texas Stars in the bye week. And then you would have, if it were to end today, the Manitoba Moose, the Milwaukee Admirals doing a best out of 3 playing round. The winner would then play the Griffins, and then the Wolves and Texas, the second and third place teams, would play each other. And then obviously those two winners of those 2 games would play for the Central Division Championship, and then the Western Conference Championship, and then the AHL.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, is that Texas Stars and Chicago Wolves matchup looking to be something in the playoffs. So yeah, season's winding down, and playoffs are going to start to kind of align, and we'll know who's going to play who here shortly. But we'll go into the Griffins point leaders now. Talk about John Leonard breaking 50. He's at 51. So congratulations to John Leonard for that. In second place, we have Sheldon Dries, tied with Michael Brandsegg-Nygard now for 43. And then in fourth place, we have a tie for Edwards Trollmax and Amadeus Lombardi, both with 39 points. So that is your top 5 for Grand Rapids point leaders.
So for goals, we have in first place, we have John Leonard, who has 32. He just crossed 30. So that's amazing. Amazing stuff by John Leonard. We haven't had a 30-goal scorer since I can remember. But then we have Edwards Trollmax at 25. Second, we have in third place, we have Sheldon Dries with 22 goals. Fourth place, we have Dominic Shine with 21 goals. And in fifth place, we have Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with 19 goals.
For assists, we have Eric Gustafson leading the way with 30. In second place, we have Amadeus Lombardi with 25. Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with 24. In fourth place, Sheldon Dries with 21. And in fifth place, Ante Tuomisto with 19.
Yep. Then we got our plus minus. We have first place, we have William Legason plus 30, tied with Edwards Trollmax. And then we have third place, we have Ante Tuomisto with 27 plus 27. Fourth place, we have Michael Brandsegg-Nygard tied with Eric Gustafson for plus 25. So looking good.
And then goalies, Michael Pastava finally becoming a qualified goalie. I know we've talked about it all year here. So good stuff there for Michael Pastava at a .935 save percentage. Sebastian Kosa at .918. And then we have Carter Geilander on this list as well as a .942 as a unqualified goaltender.
Those are all staggering numbers. Absolutely phenomenal goaltending room this year. And then add Trey Augustine into the mix.
Yeah, literally.
So for the goals against average leader, we have Michael Pastava in first place in the AHL too, with a 1.78 goals against average, which is phenomenal, followed by Sebastian Kosin with a 2.26. And that's Sebastian Kosin's in the top 5. So then you have Carter Geilander with a 1.86. So phenomenal numbers there too.
So that should wrap us up for the standings and stats. We're going to go ahead and get into an ad break now, and we will get back to you with our hot and cold.
Welcome back. we'll now get into our next segment of the episode, Hot and Cold. In this segment, we like to pick a player who is fiery hot, and then we like to pick a player who is icy cold, and then we like to pick a player who, at a random, we pick a random number, we generate a number and match it with the jersey number, and then we rate them on a scale of hot to cold. All right, Kyle, who is hot?
There's no other answer other than Wojciech Stachowiak. Dude has come to the Grand Rapids Griffins on a heater. I mean, this guy has just done nothing but tear it up. Like, welcome to the team, my guy. And 11 points in the last 5 games. He's got 3 goals and 8 assists in those 5 games. That's just masterful numbers here in the AHL.
Well, yeah, so far he's played 6 games for the Grand Rapids Griffins. He's got 3 goals, 8 assists, and 11 points. That's insane, with a plus 12. So coming in on a Ian Mitchell trade, you're not really, you're thinking, oh, we're just getting some forwards for some reinforcements. You didn't think you were going to get this kind of a AHL caliber player.
Yeah, just throw him on the list of the talent that we have here in Grand Rapids now. I mean, this guy, I keep saying it, but this guy can really skate. He moves around the ice quick, and he's not a small guy. So good to have him out there. And he's just going to keep dishing this puck out. I can tell he gets himself into some great positions, and they're making some great plays out there with him on the ice.
What Wojciech Stachowiak really does for the Grand Rapids Griffins, it just inserts that depth. So now if you have a player that gets injured, like you have a guy here that can just step right in, who's literally, he's looked like the best guy on the team past couple games.
Yeah, he looks really good over in Syracuse Crunch, and he got injured, and I know that's like he wasn't playing for a minute. He comes back, and he didn't start. I know we brought Michael Milne over too, and Michael Milne kind of came in, started playing right away. But we had to wait to see Stachowiak, and man, it was just a pleasant surprise when he got out there and started to light up the scoreboard. So really good stuff here by Stachowiak. And again, just welcome to the Griffins. Good to have you.
So we're going to get into our cold. So we got William Wallander. With the addition of all these defensive guys coming in, it's kind of disappeared. You don't really see much William Wallander. You kind of wanted him to step up and take that leadership role, losing Ian Mitchell and Justin Hull. But you got all these additions like Anton Johansson and ASP coming in, and kind of watch him disappear. He's got 1 point in his last 8 games. He's played 61 games. He's got 1 goal for 17 assists with 18 points with a plus 18. He's been solid defensively, but his points are kind of matching around what they were last year. I haven't seen much of a boost on them, really.
Yeah, he's not doing bad. I mean, there's not a whole lot to complain about with Vlinder. And it is one of those things where you do feel like he's taking a back seat to the likes of, I mean, he's a 3-year veteran on the Griffins. And now we got some of these younger players like William just taking more of a top seat in a lot of these like key moments of penalty kill, power play. And yeah, now with the addition of Anton Johansson and ASP was down here for a minute, it just seemed like he kind of just got knocked down the lineup. I was hoping for another step this year, like Connor was saying, like the points and the plus minus looks good, but he's still on like the bottom of the list, even with like the veterans of like obviously Laugeson's ripping it up in plus minus, but yeah, he seems to be at the bottom of the group defensively here still.
And we kind of talked about him and Ante Tuomisto in the last one. Since then, Ante Tuomisto stepped up. He scored a really good goal one of the last few games, and it was a really good goal. And you see Ante Tuomisto climbing up on those leaderboards, and you just don't see William Wallander up on those leaderboards at all really this year. He's just a step behind everyone. I mean, he's got plus 18, but that's not to say much because we got a team that everyone's like got really high plus minus. So it's like I just like to see a little more from him, especially considering he is a 3-year veteran here, like Kyle was saying.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he doesn't play his role and he doesn't do what he needs to do out there. It's just at this point, is it something that the Red Wings are going to be looking for? And I think that's what it kind of comes down to, is the Red Wings are really hoping for him to kind of step up and be the next man in. Consistency wise, I think he's there, but I don't know if it's quite the elite talent that Detroit's looking for up there. I don't know if he's quite what they're asking for.
Something could change tomorrow. He could come and blow up in these playoffs and start being the William Wallander that we all thought he could be. But until he
comes
in and proves that he's sitting at 1 point in 8 games.
And again, like, what do we know? We just podcast. We're just here. We're not on the skating team with these guys. Like, dude's an elite hockey player. I'm not gonna say he's not. He's just, at some point, I was hoping for his development to take a step up with the rest of the players.
Yeah, and me versus William Wallander on the ice, I'd get smoked 100 times a week, and I have no judgment there here at all. Just like Kyle said, we aren't here to judge players. This is not what this segment's about at all. It's just we would like to see more. It's mainly ignite a fire under the guy, you know.
Mainly to light a fire. So we'll move on from William Wallander and we'll go into our random player, where we're going to talk about Eddie Genborg and maybe a little Anton Johansson here, just because they're new to the team. Kind of sure people want to hear about them, and just kind of easier than going random right now at the moment when there's someone to actually talk about.
Yeah, both of these guys ended up getting their first goals in the same night in the last game. So very cool to see both of them getting their first professional point. Hopefully the first of many more to come. Genborg had a great goal.
Yeah, Genborg got his first assist the other night, and now he's getting his first goal. So we're seeing him kind of come to a little bit, that bigger body forward, kind of playing his game. We've seen him throw his checks around. Some of them miss, some of them hit, but that's part of this smaller ice and learning how to play here. He's going to be kind of looking like that power forward that's needed. So especially if Edwards Traumax isn't going to be here, you're going to want to look for Genborg to kind of come here and take a role that is going to be missing with Traumax gone. So,
yeah, we don't have many of those big guys. We don't have that big guy frame in our prospects coming up, and I think Genborg's a perfect guy to fill that role of Traumax.
And then, yeah, with Anton Johansson, good on him getting his first goal and 2 assists on top of that. So, great start for Anton Johansson coming back over to the Grand Rapids. We were waiting for you to come back. We were a little bummed that you were in the SHL this year, and things sounds like they didn't go all that well over there. So glad to have you back here in Grand Rapids, and hopefully we can get you a Calder Cup over here.
Yeah, and I guess on the broadcast, Kaiser also said that he plans on playing here next year, no matter what. So
awesome.
See, that's the thing about Genborg. I think he's scheduled to play somewhere else. So it might be a similar story between the two. Genborg might come back for his return and blow it up like Anton, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to see. What happens is yet to be determined, but for now, we can move along and get into our earning our wings segment.
So in this segment, we like to talk about Griffins on their journey to earning their Red Wings. All these prospects making their way through the pipeline, or just former Griffins who've earned their wings in their quest in the NHL. So today we're going to kind of talk about ASP getting that call up to the Red Wings, talking about how much that means coming down here, getting that experience, and going up to Detroit in such a crucial time and competing for that, trying to get those points in this wild card race.
Yeah, and I mean, it's got to be a little refreshing for him to kind of get dropped down a league and then just score on your first shot. Like, it's probably been a little stressful up there in Detroit. He's been on the bench and all that went down. Gets sent down to Grand Rapids, scores, has 2 goals and an assist for 3 points in 4 games, gets called back up and like go time. That's all right. Got your head clear. Let's go again. Put some points up. Felt good about your offensive capabilities and just kind of mixed it up, kept them fresh, get them back in the lineup. And I know the Red Wings are going to be pushing hard, but so far it's not going so well for them.
Yeah, so we're really kind of essentially penciled in to get Axel sending Pellikka back as soon as the Red Wings are out of the playoff contention or they're eliminated from the playoffs, depending on how that goes. And I think that's going to be a perfect time for ASP to really slow his game down, dial in his offense, and play really valuable playoff hockey down here in the second best league in the world.
Yeah, and it's kind of works out perfectly for Grand Rapids, not for Detroit, obviously, but they're a struggling team. Kind of blew it in March again. Just unfortunately doesn't really look like they're going to make it. I mean, make it, let alone if they do, I don't think they're going to make it very far. I mean, these other teams just seem to be playing harder, better hockey right now. And having these players drop down to this league to give them some playoff experience is perfect for the future and what's going to come for the Detroit Red Wings, who already should be a pretty good team. So that should wrap us up for Griffins earning their wings and our talk about Axel Sandin Pellikka. We can move along into the penalty box.
Welcome to the penalty box. In this segment, we like to end the episode on a fun note and pick the biggest idiot of the week, throw them into the penalty box for 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
Well, this week it's going to be Elmer Soderblom. He goes over to the Pittsburgh Penguins and already throwing people around, being a physical brute for the Penguins. Got in a fight with one of the Islanders players for a heavyweight bout and just kind of gave it to him. Like, showed us what we were missing with his physical ability. And no offense, Michael Rasmussen, but you're just not quite what Soderblom was, in my opinion. I think we should have kept Soderblom for that reason. I think he would have grown into the more physical player.
And he's bigger. And he's just Soderblom, man. He's been awesome. We got to experience Soderblom and Rasmussen down here, and it's always sad seeing any Griffin go.
It is always sad seeing any Griffin go. And at this, I just want to throw 2 minutes at Soderblom for only taking your physical ability outside of Detroit, and then because it seems like you're all along that teddy bear path too. So.
But not anymore. Not in Pittsburgh.
Well, seems like he's unlocked his physical potential in a new locker room.
So 2 minutes in the box for Soderblom. And who I'm going to throw into the penalty box. So I'm driving downtown Grand Rapids, and I look, and it looks like the war has come to Grand Rapids. There's flames shooting up over the highway. So I guess a truck crash and explosion went out, and flames are all over. Not good. Considering the world right now and what's going on, it's kind of scary seeing flames. I was kind of worried there for a second, but turns out just a crash. Not good. We just had a other crash recently. Someone drove off the ledge over the barricade, and that was another explosion. So we just need to slow down on this ramp or rebuild it maybe. So whoever designed
Seems to be a dangerous area there on 131. I know what you're talking about here. That was pretty impressive stacks of flames as we had spewing out of the highway. And yeah, I agree with you. Throw this guy in the penalty box. Maybe the ramp builders. I don't know.
Yeah, I say whoever built the ramp. And if you think it's bad right now, just wait till that new soccer stadium and the amphitheater get done. Now you're going to have to merge across 4 lanes of traffic to get to there. It's only going to make things 100 times worse. Plus, it's going to drive up the parking prices. It's
going to be fun, guys.
131. So have fun in the box for a 4-minute double line here. All right, so that should wrap us up for this episode pretty much. We got some upcoming games this weekend. It's just a 2-game weekend at Van Andel. We got April 10th against the Chicago Wolves at 7 p.m. and then $2 beer, $2 dogs. And then Saturday night, April 11th, we got the Grand Rapids Griffins for Fan Appreciation Night facing the Rockford Ice Hogs. And then, yeah, that will be it for that weekend. And then happy Easter, everyone. Everyone go enjoy everything with your families. Yeah.
Hopefully the Griffins can enjoy their Easter week off as, yeah, like Connor said, get the last 2 home games of the year. Love to see everyone down there. Hopefully 2 more wins to stack on for Grand Rapids. We have the equipment sale going on. There will be the equipment sale going on down in the conference room, I believe. So normally an event where you can pick up used hockey equipment, jerseys, sticks, all that stuff that legitimate used professional gear. And if you want a decent price on it, it's actually a pretty good chance to get some. So
yeah, so see you down at the games this weekend. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.